Hey, it's Jason Judy here from CENTRIC, and this is episode number 2 of CENTRIC Tech. So today I want to take a look at Midi and the iPad, and I was looking for ways on how to interface the iPad with my Midi rig, and I chose this device, the Apple Camera Connection Kit. But when I was looking at the specs for this online, there's actually nothing official reported about what it can handle MIDI-wise. So to save you guys some time in hunting around, I'll just set the record straight here. This does handle MIDI out from the iPad, as well as MIDI into the iPad, and best of all, it can handle this simultaneously. So I'll actually show that in action in the next video, but what I want to focus on next here is kind of how this thing integrates into the setup. So this plugs in here. For the sake of this video, I'm using the 30-pin connector on a 30-pin iPad, so keep that in mind if you have a newer one. And then you would plug in some sort of USB device, MIDI device into this. I'm using this EMU. It's like a Y cable dongle, USB to 5-pin MIDI. So this plugs in here, and then I'll show you the other side of that cable, which is this right here. So it splits into these two, which you can then plug into your MIDI interface or your synthesizer, whatever you have in your setup. So this all works really great. You get MIDI in and MIDI out simultaneously, which is nice. And the only problem I have with it is, if you notice, it really creates kind of an obstruction sticking out of the iPad here. And if I were to reach for like a knob or something in the middle of a performance, there's a good chance that I could bump this, or even worse, break it off in the iPad or something. So this looks to me like it's really meant for tabletop usage, but I really like having my iPad flying here on this IK Multimedia iPad stand, because it gets it up in a really good range for me to see it and control it, and I can actually reach down and see and control all these great knobs below it here on my keyboard. So this was a deal breaker for me as far as live performance use. So I started looking into options on how I could still use the camera connection kit for MIDI, because it's pretty effective for doing that, but find a better way to attach it. So I came up with this idea, which is to get a 30-pin extension cable. And I actually had to get a couple, because the first one that I tried did not work. I don't know why it wouldn't pass MIDI through, but this one does, so I can save you the effort in hunting one down there by just having you go to Amazon and looking for the Ziotech, Z-I-O-T-E-K, 2 feet 30-pin dock extender. That's what this is called. And so the way this works is you just unplug that. So then this is what goes into the iPad, and then the dock plugs, the connection kit plugs into the other side of the extension. And I probably would recommend like wrapping some electrical tape around that, and maybe even around this connection as well. And then once you get that, you can do whatever you want with the dongle. It doesn't really need to be, anywhere near the iPad. So like I could tuck it away into my rig somewhere, maybe even like zip tie this back so it's a lot more low profile. And as you can see there, it's just a much cleaner, much safer way to have this connected, and I can reach for my knobs without potentially knocking things off or breaking things. And if you compare it to the original connector, obviously that's way longer, way more flimsy. So I'm content with this. It's a pretty good workaround for the time being. So anyway, that's what I got for you for today. Check out the next episode, where I'll show MIDI getting in and out of the iPad simultaneously, and how easy and fun that can be to play with. And as always, you can go to centricmusic.com to check out some of my material. Peace.